My unfaithful wife would rather dance with her lover at a party than with me, so I declare that tonight should be full of magic, and an elegant celebration of love and unity is held in the city center. For Ethan, it's a chance to make things right with his wife Olivia in the midst of the music and laughter of their social circle. But unbeknownst to him, this night will uncover a devastating truth that will change his life forever. As my wife chooses to dance with someone else, Ethan begins. She doesn't know that I'm about to change everything forever. On the surface, Ethan and Olivia's relationship seems flawless. Ethan is a devoted husband who always puts Olivia's happiness first. Olivia has a charming smile and infectious laugh and is the center of attention at every party. But beneath the surface, cracks are beginning to appear. Ethan notices small changes. She texts late at night, is distracted during conversations, and doesn't want to be alone with him. These moments planted the seeds of doubt in his mind. Ethan admits that he is filled with guilt because he doubts her loyalty, but his gut tells him that something is missing. Olivia's favorite type of activity seems like a good opportunity to reconnect. Ethan recalls how Olivia spent hours picking out her outfit, how she was excited as she got ready, and how she looked radiant. But it wasn't for me, Ethan recalls. His words set the tone for the story to come, which is not just a story of betrayal, but also of the courage to face it. Ethan promises to take the audience on a heartbreaking journey of discovery and resolution, leaving everyone questioning their own relationships from the outside. Ethan and Olivia's life together seems flawless. Ethan is 36 and a successful entrepreneur who has built a comfortable life through years of hard work. Olivia is 34 and the epitome of maturity and ease. She charms everyone she meets, and their marriage seems like a fairy tale. Luxury holidays, a beautiful home, an enviable social calendar. But Ethan can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. He remembers the days when they were together. We used to laugh at finding our shared dreams. We used to talk for hours about everything and nothing. Over the years, Olivia has changed. She's become obsessed with her social life, prioritizing parties and networking over quiet evenings at home. Ethan tries to support her, believing that this is just her outgoing nature, but the growing distance makes him feel like a stranger in his own marriage. Then something changes with Olivia's phone. Where it used to be casually left on the kitchen counter, it is now always hidden away. Her texts, which she refuses to explain, and her vague answers to Ethan's questions deeply unsettle him, but he doesn't voice his suspicions, not wanting to seem paranoid. A lavish dinner party thrown by one of Olivia's colleagues was supposed to be a fresh start, and Olivia insisted that Ethan go with her, claiming it was important to her because she wanted Ethan to meet her friends. Ethan saw it as an opportunity to rekindle their relationship, but as they prepared for the dinner, Olivia's excitement seemed to be getting the better of her, and she spent days getting dressed up, more than usual. Ethan remembers her as if she were dressing to please someone, but I convince myself that it is just her usual flamboyance. Ethan does not know that this extravagance will eventually lead to betrayal and completely destroy their lives. The event is breathtaking, with sparkling chandeliers casting a warm light on the well-dressed guests. Ethan feels a surge of pride as he walks into the venue with Olivia. She is a sight to behold. She was wearing a sleek black dress that seemed to capture the light. Her laughter echoed as she greeted friends and acquaintances. She leaned in slightly when Ryan spoke, her eyes sparkling as she listened to his jokes. Ethan had never seen these moments in her interactions with anyone, not even him. "I'm being paranoid," Ethan told himself. He tried to dispel the nagging feeling in his chest. "I'm being paranoid," he told himself. But as the night wore on, the lingering doubts grew stronger. Olivia seemed more keen to party than spend time with him. When Ethan asked her to introduce him to her friends, she casually said, "I'll introduce you later," and left him standing alone at the edge of the room, holding a glass of wine. Ethan watched Olivia from afar. Ryan was not just a colleague, but also someone Olivia clearly admired. Ethan couldn't ignore the attraction between them, and as the night wore on, their interactions became more frequent and more intimate. Every laugh, every exchange of glances, felt like a slap in the face. He tried to convince himself that it was paranoia, but the heavy feeling in his chest lingered. What should have been a night of celebration had turned into something completely different. Ethan's suspicions were gradually turning into irrefutable facts. As the night reached its climax, the live band played slow, romantic tunes and invited the couples to the dance floor. Ethan thought this was his chance to salvage the situation, and maybe he could really save the night and remind Olivia of their past relationship. With a hopeful smile, he walked towards her, extended his hand and invited her to dance. His tone was like, "Yes, seriously." Olivia hesitated. She looked around, then gave a forced smile and said, "Oh, Ethan, I'm tired, maybe later." As she said this, she walked towards the bar, leaving Ethan in the lurch. Ethan stood there, swallowing his disappointment. He tried to convince himself that it wasn't his imagination, that the distance between them was growing. But after a moment, the truth became inevitable. Ethan found Olivia not resting at the bar, but swaying in Ryan's arms. The two were in perfect sync, her head thrown back in laughter as Ryan whispered something in her ear. The intimacy between them was unmistakable, and any onlooker could see the connection they shared. Ethan's chest tightened, and the question arose in his mind, had all the late-night secrets and the coldness at home led to this moment? His emotions fluctuated wildly between anger, sadness, and a strange sense of relief. At least now he had clarity, but Ethan was not a man who created scenes, and he did not. He stood quietly, observing every detail carefully, just as Olivia's hand rested on Ryan's shoulder, just as her eyes sparkled as she looked up at him, just as if he were the only person in the room. Ethan's determination grew stronger. If Olivia wanted to make her choice public, then so would he. What happened next would ensure that the people in the room would never forget. The room was filled with laughter and joy the night Olivia chose someone else over her husband. And as Ethan walked onto the stage, the host announced the closing speech. Ethan seized the opportunity to make his own comments. He took the microphone and cleared his throat. His calm demeanor concealed the raging waves within him. "Good evening, everyone," he began, steadying his speech, and thanked everyone for coming tonight. "I'd like to propose a toast to the truth. Because the truth always reveals itself in an interesting way when you least expect it." The crowd fell silent, captivated by Ethan's unexpected speech. Olivia, who was standing near the dance floor, froze, her face turning pale as their eyes met. "I learned something valuable tonight," Ethan continued. "It's heartbreaking when you realize the person you've dedicated your life to has chosen someone else. Olivia, thank you for showing me who you really are." The crowd let out a gasp, and Olivia's expression changed from shock to horror. Ryan stepped forward to try to stop him, but Ethan ignored him. He put down the microphone and walked off the stage. The silence in the room was deafening, broken only by whispers and murmurs. Ethan didn't turn around, and he walked out of the venue, heavy-hearted but determined. As he walked out of the venue, the refreshing night breeze hit him. In stark contrast to the suffocating atmosphere of betrayal, he drove home in silence, replaying everything that had happened tonight in his mind. Although the pain remained, for the first time in the midst of this heartbreak, he felt a strange sense of relief. For the first time in months, he felt free from the doubts and suspicions that had plagued him. Ethan began to take action to start his life again. He confronted Olivia in private and gave her a chance to explain, but her tearful apologies and excuses only strengthened his resolve to move on. "I'm so sorry," she pleaded, tears streaming down her face. But Ethan's trust had been broken beyond repair. He filed for divorce and was determined to move on. Ethan sought support from his friends and family, finding solace in their unwavering loyalty. He threw himself into his work, channeling his energy into his business, and day after day he healed, rediscovered his passion, and started a life free from betrayal. Looking back, Ethan realizes that Gala not only ended his marriage, but also started a journey towards self-respect and a brighter future. He deserves honesty, loyalty, and love. Things Olivia couldn't give him, and her choice of another man is not just a heartbreaking chapter, but the beginning of a new story in which Ethan can finally put himself first.